Well, I'm just leaving Planet Fitness this morning to get my workout in. Did 3 sets of 25 pull-ups in a row, and did my Navy SEAL calisthenic stretch PT, and that felt pretty good. The crazy, amazing things are happening. Okay, there's like no coincidence here. Okay, so I went out Saturday. I had 3 appointments. I had 4 set up. 3 of them actually materialized. In my last appointment, this guy, good guy. He used to drink a lot. He had got a martial arts background, Kempo, and went to prison. Felony assault on a police officer. So that kind of limits the guy. He's been doing plumbing and landscaping, but he doesn't have a car now for whatever reason, and he's living with his mom. And then she had some health issues. I don't know if she fell and broke her hip or damaged it for sure, and her ankle, and so she couldn't work. And so just getting her Social Security, and she only owes like $10,000 on her house, but she's paying like 10% interest. And when she got hurt, she got behind. So she had like a 30-day rolling for over a year. And then she was trying to refinance out of her 10% interest rate mortgage. Her daughter was trying to help her get a mortgage. And the mortgage company told her not to make her payment that month. And then the loan didn't go through. So now she's got, 2 30-day lates. And, it's a little problem for her, right? And the mortgage company keeps calling her. And so I knew this guy. He was one of the first guys to find, the issues with the robo-signing, where basically the mortgage companies were committing fraud. They were basically electronically pencil whipping or digitally signing the note, which they're not supposed to do that. I mean, it's okay for mortgage companies to sell your mortgage, but you really, you've got to authorize it, I guess, by physically signing a grant deed, I guess, or the back of the note. And just like a monopoly, right? But they weren't doing that. So he found that out. So he started a company, and he's got all kinds of resources to help people defend themselves. But what they do is they sell your mortgage. Oh, and I don't know if they still can do it anymore, but they used to have what they call default insurance. So if you default on your mortgage, the bank doesn't just get, the principal that you owe back. They get the principal. They're insured not just for the principal, but the principal and interest over 30 years. So they actually make more money faster if you go in default. And so what they do is they do little things, like they sell your note, and so now if you pay your payment on time, it goes to the old mortgage company, which then doesn't get to the new mortgage company. So now you got a 30-day late just, walking in the door. Or they tell you, oh, don't make your payment this month until, you get notified from the new mortgage company, and now you're 30 days late because you held on. I mean, they just set you up for failure, okay? So I knew this guy. So I didn't have his, he's on Facebook with me, Charles Papa Kappa. And I tried to call his cell phone number, it didn't work, but I left a message on his home phone number, so he got back. So I'm at church yesterday, and Pastor Clark Ortiz is talking about how he had a had all this stuff going on. He was going to do this contract with a big deal with these networks with George Clooney. And then the 2008 crisis happened, where AIG filed bankruptcy and all these. So now George Clooney, his backers couldn't finance the deal because they were tied to AIG. And so there's all this money coming, and then it's not, right? And so he ends up, going into default, and Spirit tells him to sue a mortgage company, and he ends up, suing and winning and getting himself out of his financial crunch, and he's giving glory to the Spirit for guiding him in that direction. Okay, but so I asked him for help with this couple, with this this guy and his mom, and so we praise, right? And then I go to New Hope Church, and they're gonna do this in March, end of March. They're gonna fill the McAllen Stadium, like I don't know, 18,000 people, right? And they're just all getting all just juiced up and praise and worship and to do this and in the middle of it, I get a call from Charles Papakapa, and he sends me a text with the link to the website to help out this family. Now, I'm not going to make any money doing this, right? But the fact is just so then I'm at the gym, and I'm listening to, on the way to the gym, I'm listening to Stephen Smith, and he's talking about affirmations and being positive and all this. And I get to the gym and I turn on a Tony Robbins video, and Tony Robbins is telling his story, and then he starts saying the key to wealth and success is helping people, right? And he did all this bunch of stuff he didn't charge anything, but he was helping people. And I'm like, well, that's what I did yesterday. I mean, I got enough experience as a debt management consultant and in the mortgage business that I know how to, I know how to help people. I know how to get them on a budget. There's so many people. Oh no, I gotta go and I go. You know what? Our CEO, she was a good saver. Saved her money and thought she had it going on until she sat down and figured out, she didn't calculate for inflation and didn't understand that she had to, the qualified plans were going to take 30% of her money for taxes, right? And and people, they think they know it all. All right, well, and then nowadays, if you don't have it going on for long-term care or catastrophic illness, that'll take you out. So if you don't have a solution for that, you ain't got it together. But people don't always listen, right? I know what I was talking about. So this is like my 20 days. Yeah, 20 days of reading the same, Genesis 1:1, Psalms 1:1, and Proverbs 1:1. And so there's this in Psalms, it's talking about these people that are, stay away from these people that are, they want to kill and they want to steal and it says that they're setting up an ambush on themselves. Okay, unless you set up ambushes, You don't really know. But just imagine that. I mean, I set up tons of ambushes, right? And setting the Claymore mine to hurt you the worst, right? To just devastate the kill zone for you. Just I'm like, wow. Because here's what happens. There are those people that are just, that movie, Natural Born Killers, right? That kind of is describing that kind of person, and they're out there. I've seen them, right? And they're around, and they're scary, right? But there's also them people that are doing it an inch at a time, because they're not all in. They're not they go to church on Sunday, right? They might read their Bible, or they might have, but they're not all in. I remember being all in training with Roy Jones Sr. I got my butt beat. I got beat up every day for a year and a half. Every single day, I knew I was getting a beat down. Every day. All right? And then finally, one day, I didn't even want to go to training. But I made myself go. And I went 14 rounds with 6 different spar partners. And I whipped every one of them. Okay? So, it's kind of funny. Like Roy Jones Sr. always would say, if you're one way in one thing, you'll be that with anything else. If you're a winner, you're a winner. If you're a quitter and a loser, you'll be a quitter and a loser. Right? And I was losing a lot. I remember it's always like falling back on, in Forest Area High School. All right. Man, in 7th grade, we lost every game except against Kalkaska, and they were like the top in the league in the area. We beat them, right? And then played 3 years with a soccer, and my junior year, I mean, we were, first year we lost more than we won. I think the second year we broke even, but the third year we won conference, right? And so I knew that if I stick with something long enough, I will gain ground. I will succeed. I knew that. Okay? And so I have that always. Well, I had to go through SEAL training, Hell Week, twice. First time with training, man, it was a total shock. I did not know what I was getting into. I mean, I thought I was something, and I'm like, I'm in the bottom third of the class running, and I'm thinking I'm something, right? Because I was the fastest at my command. And I could never pass the obstacle course, and I was one of the slowest swimmers. Ended up catching pneumonia in Hell Week. Then I got worse. Everything got worse, right? But then I got dropped from training after Hell Week, after I caught pneumonia, and I reapplied 7 times to get back in. I would run the cross-country course in Pensacola, 2 or 3 times a day. I'd run the obstacle course 2 or 3 times a day, and then I was teaching boxing a couple classes every day, teaching the basics, and I was going to Roy Jones Senior's gym and, getting advanced training and a lot of sparring, right, every day. And when I went back to Buds, it was a different story. I was one of the fastest runners, one of the fastest swimmers. I was the fastest on the obstacle course, right? And, so I know just keep hanging in there and making the adjustments I'll get there. So, oh man, I just found out this guy. There's two guys that used to they were at the they'd hang out at the peer-to-peer group in Edinburgh, which is now in Westlaco, and they were big dudes. I think one was like 400 and over 450 pounds, and the other one was like closer to 600 pounds. And the one of them turned his life around. He just finished running the marathon like 4 hours and 18 minutes, and he's on the Stairmaster right now, right? and gonna do his 8 mile, or he did his 8 mile run this morning, and he's just dedicated, right? He's like 190 now, right? Did it all, no gastric bypass or lap band surgery, none of that. The other one didn't, and I just found out he died like 8 months ago, caught pneumonia, and they couldn't get him, on the bed, and he suffocated. He died, and he was always like, "Oh, woe is me! Nobody likes, no girls like me," and yeah, because you're flipping Jabba the Hutt, and but he died. I mean, this health thing's a serious deal. Anyway, all right. Nice brisk morning today. Kids are going to school even though it's Columbus Day. All right. Have a good one.